Hey guys, it's Bridget with San Diego Seed Company, and today we're on the farm and I'm going to talk about an introduction video on how you plant and grow beets from seed. So beets are an amazing plant because you get double the produce from it. You can eat the beet greens and you can eat the beet root. They're very easy to grow from seed. You should never buy them in transplant form, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to take a $4 pack of seeds and make a ton of beets for you to enjoy in your kitchen. So what are the key things you need to know to successfully grow beets in zone 9 and 10? Well, I've been doing this a long time, and beets can be a little difficult. They're probably a little less difficult than carrots, but are right around the same difficulty level, and there are key things that you need to know. Number one, beets are going to thrive in cooler temperatures. Now in zone 9 and 10, that's a very long period. It's really from fall all the way into almost late spring. And if you're an expert grower, you can really grow beets year round with the help of shade cloth. But if you're watching this video, you're probably a beginner grower, so I would suggest that you stick to growing beets in their natural season that they prefer, which is what we call our cool season. So from fall to really spring, right? When we get seasonal rains and the temperatures are a lot cooler. Now, beets are typically direct sown. It's really cute when I see new gardeners go to a nursery and buy a 6-pack of beets. Really adorable. Yes, you can start them in a transplant form and transplant them out, but it's not worth it. And when you buy a pack of seeds, you're going to notice you get a lot. And the reason why you get a lot is because you're going to direct sow them. And naturally, you're going to have to thin them. That's the thing that people hate doing. And I know it's hard, but farming and gardening is hard. You have to do it. So let's back up a little bit and talk about soil prep. So the soil for your beets has to be as light and fluffy as possible because look, you have to be able to let the actual root grow unencumbered. And how do you do that? Adding tons of compost, and we love using horse manure. Horse manure is going to allow your soil to be light and fluffy and airy, which means the roots can grow very quickly and easily. You'll also notice that this soil is pretty moist. Beets are not going to want to grow in bone dry soil. The drier the soil, especially if you have high clay content, the harder the soil is as well. So you'll notice we have an irrigation line here, which we run regularly to keep these guys happy. Now, look at this. I'll show you the biggest thing. So we direct sowed our beets. We actually have an amazing carrot video that shows you how you can direct sow beets and carrots and cover them with either burlap, cardboard, or even wood to get them to germinate quicker. Make sure you check that out. But once they have germinated, you have to thin them, because if you don't, they will produce very small beets because they're competing for each other. And this is a good example. These guys were all sown at the same time. And you'll see this one is a lot bigger because it has more space to grow. And then as they get closer together, they're simply smaller. In fact, look at this guy. We've all done it. Who's grown a beet like this before? We've all done it. The reason why it turns out like this is because it doesn't have enough space. If your beets are touching one another, they're never going to really thrive. They have to be on their own and super happy. These guys have actually grown together. They've filled in the space, but you'll see you've got a pretty small one here. This one is obviously the more dominant one. Okay, so let's back up a little bit and I'll show you exactly how I would do it if I was starting beet seeds. So along your irrigation line, which is essential in zone 9 and 10, I've got light fluffy soil, right? I'm gonna make a furrow, and you can do this with the handle of a rake, you can do it with your hand, it doesn't matter. I'm basically making a bed where the beet seeds are gonna be sown. And then as I sow the seeds in there, I'm gonna cover it up with light fluffy soil. Now beet seeds are larger than carrot seeds, so you can put more soil on top, but you never wanna put big chunks of soil on top. If you took something like this and put a bunch of it on top of a beet seed, it may not pop up. So a good tip is to actually use sifted soil that's already light and fluffy to guarantee quicker and more even germination. Now, once these guys have germinated and popped up, when they're super tiny, that is the best time to thin. And I know it's hard. You pull them out of the ground and you can hear them screaming. But if you wait until they're bigger, like you can see this patch over here, I've wasted a bunch of energy letting these guys get so big and thinning them now. I want to thin them when they're little so that they can grow quickly and easily. Now the beauty about beets is that as you harvest them, you're essentially thinning them. So whenever I go in to harvest a beet, I take that into consideration. Like here's a good example. See these guys here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in here that are really squished together. I'm gonna harvest this big guy because look, he's perfect. And then I'm gonna harvest the one in the middle so that then there's room. Now these guys are gonna grow up and be nice and big and happy like this because I made space for them. So harvesting them often is actually gonna help you get more beets and have happier plants. Look at this. Ah, these guys are beautiful. As I mentioned, these are our golden beets, and if you don't really like the taste of beets, these are the best ones to start with. Roast them in the oven. They take a whole different flavor on, and you can use them in salads or in tons of other dishes. The tops are edible, the bottoms are edible. They're really a fabulous plant to grow in the garden because you get a lot of bang for your buck. So really the biggest point in growing beets is that you have to thin. You have to thin when they're really little and they've just sprouted. And then you're gonna probably thin maybe 3 times throughout the season. When they're little, when they are just starting to form their bulbs, and then again, you're gonna thin more as you harvest them, because you'll see, even over here, we've been thinning them, but not enough. We've been so busy on the farm that these guys are actually a little too close together, and so I have to stay on top of it. If you have beets that are too close together, they're never really gonna thrive, and you're never gonna get beautiful, large beets like this. I do want to clarify that bigger is not always better. I've seen a lot of fun Instagram posts of people holding up a huge beet that they grew in their garden. That's great, but those are unedible because they're so big, they're fibrous and they're tough. You really don't want to go much bigger than something like this if you want optimal flavor and sugar production in this beet. Much bigger, they're gonna start to get hard and woody and really not be fabulous for the kitchen. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the best time to grow beets is cool season. As the days get longer, these plants, along with all plants, are gonna naturally wanna go to flower. They're gonna want to bolt. When these bolt, they're no longer going to be super flavorful and it's time to pull them and get rid of them. Flowering beets, flowering carrots, any of the root crops that begin to flower are simply going to be more fibrous, more bitter, and they're past their prime and it's time to either start over or pull them and put a different crop in and wait till next season. So we would love it if you subscribe to our channel so we can learn your beet growing tips and the beet varieties that you love. Comment on this video and let us know the things that you're having troubles with and what we can help so that you can have the best beets in your garden. So remember, growing beets takes a couple of key factors. One, they thrive in cool season. You want to have light, fluffy soil, and in zone 9 and 10, irrigation is key. With those tips, I know you'll be growing beets and sharing them with neighbors. So go to our website and get some really cool varieties. We have tried and true varieties that you'll find in a lot of places, and we have some rare, unique varieties of beets that we've trialed that do really well here in zone 9 and 10. Spoiler alert, if you don't like the taste of beets, one of the least beety beets to eat is golden beets. They actually taste less earthy, and so if you're a beginning beet lover, these guys are for you.